And we're live.
Hey.
Back again.
That's right.
Welcome to Kingdom Politics Podcast. My name is Pastor Will, and with me, as always, is Dr. Michael Huffman. How are you today, sir?
Confused as ever.
That's going to be your catchphrase. That's 2 weeks in a row you said that.
Our ratings went up when I said that, so maybe that'll help.
Yeah, we did have. Yeah, so thank you to everybody who watches or listens on podcasts. I don't know how many people still listen. I do.
Yeah.
I love podcasts.
Oh, I thought you meant listen to yourself.
No, I actually don't like doing that.
Oh.
No, I really don't like doing that. Let's see. We got a lot of stuff in the works. So I do owe everybody a quick apology. There hasn't been a lot on the social media front lately. That's my apologies because we have had a lot of planning for the next month for all the things we've got going on for the amendments in Virginia. So it's just been a lot of long days, and I'll just be honest, social media is not something that pops in my head to go do. So if I'm not intentional about it, it doesn't get done. But we've had a bunch of long days getting all these plans together for next month. We've got a whole, the whole month is packed with talks we're giving. Plus, we'll still do the show.
Yeah. We got a long day tomorrow.
Yeah, we got a long day tomorrow as well. So, that's my bad. But that's okay.
But we do have some articles on the website that people can read. We have uploaded some of those. There's several good articles on the website.
Yeah. thekingdompolitics.org is really the place to go anyway. All the social links are on there, but I know everybody loves social media. So it'll start getting more updated when I have a better flow of it. Anything else? We got events coming up. Maybe we'll announce them all next week.
Yeah,
because we still got a few pending.
Yeah. Like you said, September's mostly full.
Yeah, September's mostly full. So if you like listening to us and you live in Virginia, although it's a huge state, we're not heading to the south, but we'll be in Central Virginia a bunch in September. So if you're interested, we'll have all those posted up on the website as soon as we get a couple more confirmations. There's a couple already confirmed that are on the website. And after that, let's get into what we're going to talk about today. We got a quick video like we've been doing lately that will explain everything. And then if you're listening on the podcast, don't worry, we're going to break it all down. It's only a 30-second video. Make it like okay. Really quick before we dive into the information that we have came from search warrants. And articles, and a quick disclaimer, this case is still open that we're going to talk about today. So everything we're talking about comes from, like I said, search warrants. So these have not been heard in court, and these are allegations according to police reports and search warrants.
Yeah, all the charges that are pending could be amended.
Correct.
Or redacted, whichever the case may be. But this is where it stands as of August the 19th.
Yeah, I think we have to say that so we don't get into trouble.
Yeah.
Because we don't normally do open cases.
No.
Just disclaimer, these are what has been reported and what the police have done, and everything's pending. So, Dr. Huffman, if you want to break it down for everybody.
This case was handed to me Sunday afternoon right after church, and the guy who handed me this case and said you need to deal with it, I said, you got to be joking when I read the case. He says, no. It involves an 18-year-old girl and a 19-year-old boy from Durham, North Carolina. The girl's name I can give it because she's not a minor, Shaisha Johnson. and the Elijah Spite, I think is how you pronounce his name. She was pregnant. She claims that she did not know that she was pregnant. She called a doctor through telemedicine to get the chemical abortion pill. Said that she didn't realize until she was at 20 weeks that she was pregnant. But come to find out, when she took the chemical abortion pill, Will, she was 31 weeks pregnant. She took the mifepristone, which is the first pill, and the misoprostol, which is the second part of the regimen, and she gave birth to a live child over the toilet at 31 weeks. Now the news reports and the case file that I've been handed did not indicate who called emergency services. I'm going to assume that the boyfriend Elijah did, but I can't be certain of that because it wasn't reported. But EMTs showed up on site. The baby did have a pulse, and from what we have been able to gather so far, the baby at that time, I don't have a report on the baby's condition as of today, but as of Sunday, the baby was alive. So that's the only thing I can accurately and safely say about that, about the child. Now, the mother was 31 weeks. Now, Will, the interesting part about it is if you read the FDA label, because mifepristone is FDA approved, if you read the FDA label or the warning label, it says do not take if you're over 10 weeks pregnant.
Yes.
And she was, by her own admission, at least 20 weeks. And she turned out to be 31 weeks pregnant. So we're talking about a fully developed child in a mother's womb, birthed over a toilet, and then left in the toilet because that's where the EMT workers found this child, in a toilet. And you can't, unfortunately, you can't make this stuff up. This is horrific. This is where loose progressive abortion laws lead. Now, there's a number of things that Will and I are going to bring out about this. The first of all, it's that this event actually took place, that a mother would have such low regard for human life, especially the life that had been growing within her for 31 weeks, have such a low regard for life. My daughter-in-law is going to be induced tomorrow to, Lord willing, give birth to my 9th grandchild.
Hey, congratulations!
Thank you. I appreciate it. I won't be there. I'll be on the road with you. But I can't do anything but sit in the waiting room anyway and raid the vending machine, which is actually the best part of the hospital experience. But anyway, and I can't imagine the no regard for human life. Now, ironically, I want our listeners to understand. This doctor who gave this girl the chemical abortion pill through telemedicine was a doctor in the Commonwealth of Virginia.
Yeah, she got it. Did you go through the charges?
No, I didn't, but I've got them. Unless you've got them right there.
Yeah, I got them right here. Let's break it down, and then we can go back through the story and break it down. So, within the search warrant, it did not list where in Virginia it came from, right, but it definitely came from Virginia. Let's just go through the charges, and then we'll break it all down because it affects Virginia as well, which is what we just put out. We're putting out in the one page. But we have, here's the charges that they're going with. Okay. Ms. Johnson was charged with, and these have not been litigated. This is what the police charged her with. Assault with a deadly weapon with intent to kill. So these are going to be all interesting for the pro-life debate.
Yeah.
So assault with a deadly weapon with intent to kill, assault inflicting seriously bodily injury on an unborn child, neglect, child abuse, inflicting serious bodily injury. And then the boyfriend was charged with negligent child abuse, inflicting serious bodily injury. Now, they both had a relatively low bond, $1,000 each.
That itself is incredible.
I don't know how. I don't know how they determined that, and they both posted bail.
Yeah.
I think it's more interesting. Yeah, that part is interesting as well. I guess we could go into that, but the charges that they leveled against the couple, obviously she got the more serious of them.
Yeah, because they're saying that neglect with the intent of doing bodily harm. Well, I guess they're blaming the mifepristone, huh?
Well, yeah, assault with a deadly weapon.
Yeah, I guess they're blaming this safe chemical abortion pill.
Yeah.
That the left wants to say that's so safe. But nothing that I've ever read from any senator or delegate from the left in Richmond have ever claimed, have ever promoted the FDA's warning label about do not use this. This is wrong. And we're here at the Kingdom Politics. We're not saying that it's right. It's wrong. But this is a first trimester procedure, and first trimester only. And here's a girl that was taking it in her third trimester, well within her third trimester. And now we'll see how those charges how they come, whether they plea these things out. My suspicion is we're going to see a plea. They won't. I don't know that they'll take this to court. Of course, the Attorney General in North Carolina is coming after him pretty well. So we'll see how ambitious he is on this issue. But I can almost tell you that if it was in Virginia, we'd see a plea. Actually, if it was in Virginia, I don't know that we would see those charges. But North Carolina has a 12-week abortion ban.
Correct.
You can't have abortion in North Carolina after 12 weeks. So that's why they are on this the way that they are. And the interesting part about it is 28 days. This was reported as happening on July the 29th of this year. And 28 days prior to that, a law took effect in the Commonwealth of Virginia known as the Shield Law. The Shield Law was SB 794. It was patroned by Senator Russet Perry up in Northern Virginia. She's a prosecutor up there. She's a person that when she thinks she's the smartest person in the room, and she patroned this bill. It was actually called the Virginia Healthcare Protection Act. What it is it shields abortion doctors in the Commonwealth of Virginia from extradition if they break the law of another state. So and that action that they committed is legal in the Commonwealth of Virginia. So if a person would have, for example, if a person would have from Louisiana would have requested through telemedicine the chemical abortion pill, and a doctor in Virginia prescribed it like a doctor in New York did to a young lady in Louisiana, and they're still trying to get Kathy Hochul to extradite her back to Louisiana to face charges because the attorney generals can find out who these doctors are. It depends on how AG is down there is willing to do that. But basically, if what this would do is this would not allow the governor to enforce or honor the extra call for extradition from the offended state. Now, I believe that that's a violation of Article 4 of the United States Constitution, but that's what this Shield Law is. Now, the interesting part that we need to keep in mind is that what did this doctor know? Okay, because in Virginia, this girl was 31 weeks pregnant. Okay, in the Commonwealth of Virginia right now, you cannot have an abortion past 26 weeks. Okay, without the note from 3 separate doctors.
Right.
Okay, so if this doctor knew that she was 31 weeks pregnant, she broke Virginia law. Therefore, the Virginia Health Care Protection Act would not apply because the Virginia Health Care Protection Act clearly states that the law they broke in another state has to be a legal act in Virginia. And abortion at 31 weeks without a without 3 separate doctors' notifications right now in the Commonwealth of Virginia is illegal. So if this doctor in Virginia knew that this young girl was 31 weeks pregnant, she broke Virginia's law. Therefore, the Virginia Healthcare Protection Act doesn't hold water. It goes out the window. But this gives you the idea, the understanding, Will, of how unsafe mifepristone actually is. There must be accountability, Will. There must be. I mean, these girls have to have ultrasounds to make sure that, number one, that they are pregnant. Number two, that they don't have an ectopic pregnancy. Because if this girl takes a chemical abortion pill and has an ectopic pregnancy, she's going to die.
Yeah.
And they have to make sure the correct gestational age of the child. Because, like I said, the FDA says if you're over 10 weeks gestation, you can't take this pill. But these people are giving these medicines through telemedicine, and they're telling these people anything. I don't know. Maybe Shaisha told her that she was 10 weeks pregnant. We don't know what she told the doctor.
Yeah, that's the problem. I mean, I guess problem one is telemedicine.
Yeah, yeah.
Before we even get to the dangers of what they prescribed, which we did a whole episode on it. Gosh, I don't know. We've been doing this a while now.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, you can look back if you're listening, and we did a whole episode on the chemical abortion pill. But first off, the telemedicine thing that we're doing is just frankly incorrect.
Yeah.
If you got the flu or something and you know that's what you have, fine. I don't have a problem with it. But this,
yeah,
you're pregnant and you're asking for the abortion pill, and we can do that through telemedicine. You got to give me a break on that. That is what is the Hippocratic Oath? What is the first thing?
Do no harm.
Do no harm. How are you possibly not doing any harm by looking at someone on the internet?
Right. Exactly. And the interesting part, the ironic part was that back in the early spring, this issue actually came before the Supreme Court.
Yeah,
and
that's
I think
what
we probably reported on that as well.
Yeah, that's what I was having.
And so go ahead. You got the information up in front of you. Go ahead.
No. We're gonna grab it and then pull it up. But the telemedicine thing, and this is where you can see there is no choice.
Yeah.
What I really want to hammer home for people, particularly on the abortion issue, because I get it. It's a hard topic. But what people need to understand is that the other side, even though it's called pro-choice, there is no choice.
Mm-hmm.
So regardless of what this person told the doctor in Virginia, and we don't know, perhaps she did lie.
Perhaps.
And let's give some grace, and perhaps she lied.
That just goes back to our point.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It goes back to our point of you can't know that as a doctor when you're doing it over the internet, telemedicine, whatever app it is. I understand they're secure, and I get all that, the HIPAA stuff, but you cannot properly diagnose and help someone.
Right.
And so there's not a choice. The choice was, I will mail you, or however they do it, mail you pills. And now this, and it goes back to the culture as well, because now this young lady has been told you can get these pills, and it's people that are oppressing you that can't get these pills. And now there's a senator, someone who's elected to office, whose job it is to protect people, that created a law that shields doctors from shipping this stuff all over the country.
Yeah.
And so this is why Christians have got to have discernment and have to understand what we're talking about and look at it from a biblical point of view and have discernment, because this is the result. I don't know this young lady, but I guarantee you this is what she's grown up with, this culture that it's okay to do this.
Yeah.
And now she's facing really serious charges. I don't know North Carolina law that well, but I know assault with a deadly weapon with intent to kill is a serious charge.
Very serious.
And so that's the first part of this story. Is number one is just overall heartbreaking. These things, they make me sick. Yeah. It makes me sick to my stomach. Like there was that case in Louisiana, which is what we did the first episode on. There was a case in Texas where a boyfriend was able to get the chemical abortion pill and gave it to his girlfriend, and she didn't even know it.
Yeah.
And these cases are popping up all over the place. And what are the people in charge doing about it?
Right.
And I'm talking about Democrats and Republicans, because we're going to pull it up. It's the Comstock Act. We're going to pull it up on the screen here. The Comstock Act is what you were talking about with the Supreme Court. And the Supreme Court could have stepped in. Students for Life tried to get this enforced, the Comstock Act. the fact that you can mail these pills is, so there you see it from the Students for Life website and Force Comstock now, Students for Life. They delivered thousands of petitions to Trump's Justice Department. And the Supreme Court stepped in. Thank you, Dan. You can pop that one off. That's exactly what I was looking for. This is on everybody.
Yeah. Well, when they were trying to enforce an injunction, this is to stop the distribution of mifepristone through telemedicine. It went to the Supreme Court, and the frustrating part about it is Samuel Alito wrote the majority opinion to allow mifepristone. Now, the case isn't over, but to allow mifepristone to continue to be distributed through telemedicine, even though the FDA has admitted that they fixed the records during their testing, that they rushed the testing, I guess is more accurately the way they named it. We rushed the testing, and we need to go back and do further testing. And so they have admitted that they rushed the testing, therefore it is unsafe. But our conservative-led Supreme Court decided, well, we're going to continue to let it be distributed, even though we have a case in our courts that are going to decide whether the FDA broke protocol or broke the law in forcing and rushing this medicine. But we're going to continue to let the medicine be distributed, and more women be harmed and more babies die, as in this case. The baby didn't die as far as I know, but
not
close to.
But multiple cases across the country.
Multiple cases across the country. While we're trying to decide whether the FDA broke protocol or broke the law in how they did their testing. But we're going to continue to let it be distributed. That's absolutely amazing to me that our conservative Supreme Court is allowing this to happen. But then you've got, now, if that doctor, because section 18.2-71 of the Virginia Code basically says that if you administer or cause a woman to take a drug with the intent of harming or producing an abortion or miscarriage, it's a Class 4 felony, which is 10 years in prison and or a $100,000 fine. Okay, if that doctor is found out, not only should she be extradited back to North Carolina to face charges, but if she knew that child was at 31 weeks gestation and she did this anyway, she should be charged with a Class 4 felony in the Commonwealth of Virginia. And when you serve your sentence in North Carolina, you come back to Virginia and you serve your sentence in Virginia for doing this. And if you didn't know, why didn't you ask? Did you even ask that young girl how many weeks pregnant she was? As you can tell, I'm pretty torqued up about this one. Like I said, when this person handed me this case and said, "Hey, deal with it," I said, "You got to be kidding me."
Yeah, this is crazy. So, well, let's look at it. Let's break down the charges, because the charges themselves are interesting. Because what are women told, or not just women? What is everyone told about the abortion pill? It's safe.
It's safe.
It causes no harm.
And in fact, who was it in Florida? Planned Parenthood in Florida, and the Attorney General sued back in the early summer. The Attorney General from Florida sued Planned Parenthood because they were advertising that mifepristone was as safe as ibuprofen. Is how they were advertising it. I've never seen ibuprofen burn alive a child, an unborn child.
Yeah, so we can get into I'm going to pull up the history of this. It's an interesting how they arrived at that pill. But so the left contends that it's not harmful. Now she's charged with assault with a deadly weapon. So how logically, like honestly, how do you answer? How does the left answer
exactly
to a police department charging someone with assault with a deadly weapon?
Was it only deadly because she was over 10 weeks?
Well, when does it become? We go round and round in circles, right? When does it become? Obviously, we very vehemently believe in life at conception. Yeah. But at what point then does it become assault with a deadly Weapon.
Yep.
When does it become a weapon? When a boyfriend lies to get the
Right.
pill and crushes it up and put it in his girlfriend's drink, is it now considered a weapon?
If this amendment passes in Virginia, not after November the 3rd.
And this is where none of it makes any sense.
No.
Because if you look at their gun control policies, well, all guns are bad, right?
Yeah, that's what they want to say.
It's a weapon.
Yeah.
Is it not?
Yeah.
I won't argue it's not a weapon.
That means I'm bad too.
Oh, yeah, me too. But
You and I are bad.
yeah, we are. You know what see? We have to bring levity because this stuff is hard. You know what I find funny is that you and I are deemed controversial.
Oh,
I laugh about that like 3 times a week.
wow.
Like honestly, but
That's what our theme song ought to be. Michael Jackson's bad.
you guys are too controversial for this. Why? We talked about it a couple of weeks ago, like quote unquote moderates, and you and I have had some meetings where we have told people, the people that come after you and I, you're not going to want to. Trust me, go with us.
Yeah.
But the quote unquote moderates are the ones that are not voting because they're mad about whatever. And that's fine. I get that. Hey, I'm very proud that you and I call balls and strikes
Absolutely.
on everybody, including ourselves.
Yeah.
But quote unquote, and so I get the frustration and I get people that are upset about, we talked about it 2 weeks ago or whatever it was that everyone gave Republicans, it was when we did the SAVE Act. We gave Republicans a mandate to go clean some stuff up, and we're right back where we always are.
Yeah.
So I get the frustration, but moderates and Christians that don't feel like they need to be in the public square or think that it needs to be separate or whatever it is, you need to decide what kind of culture we're going to live in.
Yes.
Like you need to have a big meeting of moderates and Christians that don't want to be part of the community and decide what kind of society you want to have. Because the society we have right now is that an 18-year-old girl, she's 18. I get it.
She's a child.
I get it. You're technically an adult, but you're an 18-year-old girl can order this on the internet. Her life is spiritually, it is going to take the power of Christ to bring her back.
Yeah.
And, the earthly plane or whatever you want to call it, her life has been forever altered.
Yeah. And the scary part about this amendment that we're voting on in November is if this amendment passes, it would allow a 13-year-old girl to go on telemedicine and get mifepristone because everyone has a right to reproductive freedom. And so I don't know what's stopping them now other than just if they were only going on there and being honest. But I mean, a 13-year-old could go on telemedicine now and do it, I suppose. And it's just amazing to me, Will, that you have a chemical. You have a chemical that will burn an unborn child alive in the womb that could forever sterilize the mother.
Yeah.
Would put unwanted and unable to be filtered chemicals in public water systems. And you can get that over the phone. And if I have a cough, my doctor won't call me in a prescription unless he sees me. But I can get a pill over the phone that will burn somebody alive and do possibly irreparable damage to me. It's just the laws of our country, and then they want to call it. But yeah, on the other side of that, they want to call it assault with a deadly weapon. Huh? I mean, it is a deadly weapon.
It is,
but
it kills someone.
They don't want to call it that in Virginia.
It's the fact that you can order that pill on the internet is indicative of the society we live in.
Yes. Yeah.
It's not about it's honestly not about reproductive.
No, not about reproductive health.
Health.
No.
It's honestly not.
No.
It's if it was about reproductive health, you would have to go to a doctor.
Yes.
Like actual, like in person, I guess I should specify. You have to go to an in-person doctor. But it's not about that.
No. Not at all.
We have taken freedom and just to the nth degree gone with it.
Yes.
And this is not freedom. Her freedom's gone.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I mean, I agree with you. They're probably going to plea it down, but that's just odds.
Mm-hmm.
Most cases get pled out.
I mean, because, again, this is North Carolina. It's not Virginia. Now, she'll be very thankful she's not in Texas or Louisiana. She'd be going away for a long time. But, you know, it will more than likely, yes, you're right, more than likely it will be pled down. Hopefully it won't be pled down to a misdemeanor, but we'll see what they do.
That's a tough one.
Yeah, it is. It's a real tough one.
It is an odd society we live in when you can get from another state.
Right.
Why is that even possible? Why are we shipping these things? And it's essentially what we're talking about is an almost partial birth abortion.
Yeah. Yeah.
And if you look at the normal, if you look at the stats or polls, partial birth abortion is a 90-10 issue.
Mm-hmm.
You got to be way out there if you think that's okay.
Yeah. You
are on a whole other situation if you think partial birth abortion is okay. Yeah. And you know, we're going to spend the next month talking about these amendments. By the way, if you watch the podcast, you're going to want to tune in after the election's over because we're just going to review a movie or something. We're going to do something.
We're just going to be tired.
We're going to do something fun.
You're going to watch us for an hour eat popcorn.
Yeah. But now let's loop in our abortion amendment with this, which is unrestricted access to reproductive care. And what this is going to be all the time.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it's going to span. I don't think people understand the door we're opening. No, I really don't think they do.
No. But because you would hate to think that people don't care.
Well, yeah, I don't want to think that.
I know that some people don't. I mean, I've been told by some of the delegates and senators in Richmond that they don't care. They just want women to have their freedom. Well, it's not just the problem is it's not just women that you're giving that freedom to. You're giving that freedom to estranged husbands, estranged boyfriends, sex traffickers, progressive doctors who aren't licensed to do this procedure. And so it's like you said before, Will, it's not about reproductive freedom. It's not about reproductive care because this is not health care.
No.
It's not at all. You know, stop calling it health care. I wish that the left would just call it what it is. It's not health care. It's murder. It's abortion. It's not health care. Stop referring to it as health care because it's not. It's anything but health care. Health care improves the lives of people. And if you're going to dare tell me that killing an unborn child in the womb of a mother improves the life of that mother, then you are base evil.
That's where they're at, though.
But that's where they are.
That's where they're at. When we have a sitting senator create a law, not only so you got to play it all the way through. That had to go through committees.
Yes.
That had to go through a vote.
Mm-hmm.
The governor had to sign it.
Had to go through both chambers.
Yeah.
Had to go through the House and the Senate, committees, subcommittees, and full committees, and floor votes in both chambers, and then the governor had to sign it.
Yeah.
And you tell me, correct me if I'm wrong, I don't remember this coming back on reconvene day with any amendments.
I don't think so. I'd have to look it up. I'd have to. I can't say that for sure because it was a lot.
Yeah.
And when you go there and they run through those things, I don't even know if they know what they're voting on half the time.
Yeah, they just look at the screen to see how other people are voting.
Well, yeah, that's what the Democrats do. They just look and go,
Wave their-
"Oh, okay,
wave their
wait, this
flags.
is one we vote for.
Yeah.
We're all in the same block."
There's the green flag. Vote yes. So there's a red flag. Vote no. We're not kidding, folks. That's how the Democrats vote. We've seen them.
No, seriously, that's
We've
what they
seen
do.
them wave their flags. They pick a member of the party, and they wave a green flag if people are supposed to vote yes, and they wave a red flag if they're supposed to vote no. We've seen them do it. That's not conjecture whatsoever.
Well, and that's why, like, we talk about the social fabric, right? It's been broken.
Mhm.
Like, where are the men on the Democrat side?
Right.
I guess that's an
It's an oxymoron. That
Yeah.
Men on the Democrats.
I guess that wasn't the best question to ask. I was
That's
going
like
to
saying ladies on the Democrats.
it gets confusing.
That might get us into some trouble, Will.
Nah. What are they going to do? Turn off our free YouTube channel? I should have said, now we are going to get to
YouTube will say, yeah, watch this, big boy.
Yeah. I don't think we're big enough to even be on YouTube's radar. I guess if I get an email tomorrow, we'll know for sure.
We'll know.
But
dial it down, boys.
yeah. Well, I mean, honestly, like, what, we've talked about this a lot. Like, what is the function of government? Is to what? The number one function of government is to protect people.
Yeah. The Bible says, punish the evil, protect the good.
That's what it is.
Yep.
And they failed to do that.
Yes.
On so many different fronts, but particularly on this one. And you're talking about decades of propaganda.
Mm-hmm.
And you talk to people or you see videos on the internet and you ask people, who started Planned Parenthood, for example. A KKK member.
Huh?
Margaret
Sager.
Yeah, Margaret Sager. She was in the KKK.
Yeah.
It's eugenics.
Yeah. That's the point.
I
thought you were asking a rhetorical question.
I mean, it kind of was, but it's okay.
And then you looked at me and I said, he wants me to answer.
Yeah, but people don't know that.
No, they don't.
I sat through, luckily I spoke before this person, but a few months ago I did an abortion pro-life thing. Luckily I went first because this lady was so good. And I sat there mesmerized. She went through the entire history.
Wow.
I didn't time her because it wasn't my event, and I was intently listening to everything she said. But she took everybody through the whole history of the doctor who started it, of the stats from like the 60s and things like that, and how over time and through the messaging that the stats on what you would consider now to be pro-choice, that's not what it was called back then, but that's what they changed it to. It was not a normal thing 50 years ago to think abortion was okay. It wasn't called reproductive freedom. It wasn't called all these things. And now, through just decades of messaging, we get to where we are now. And at the end of the day, this is also a biblical issue, because the way the Lord, it's on a couple different fronts. First off, on the family front, what has the Lord built every nation off of? Families. Every single one of them.
Mm-hmm.
What is the most corrupting? There's two. The most corrupting and dangerous thing to a family. Well, number one, the child's not even born. And number two is divorce.
Yeah.
Two things in which this country excels at.
Mm-hmm.
And then the other part is you hear all this, my body, my choice, and all of these things. And it's never, the sad thing is, and this is just a comment on parenting in general, it's the most important thing in anyone's life is a child. When you have a child or a niece or a nephew, whatever it is, grandchild, great-grandchild, it doesn't matter to me. You sacrifice everything for them.
Yeah.
I legitimately want my kid to have more shots than I had. And my mom wanted me to have more shots than she did.
Yeah.
Shots is in shots of life.
Right.
My brother feels the same way. You know, it's,
Mm-hmm.
you hear people speak about children nowadays, and it's really sad.
Yeah.
Is it hard to have a kid? Yeah, it's super hard.
Yeah.
I had to have a talk with my son today about reading. I didn't want to do that. I was already having a frustrating day. I didn't also want to have to get on him about reading. But you know what? I wouldn't trade any of those moments.
Right.
To watch him come up to bat and he's so happy, or we went to training camp yesterday and to watch his face when his football got signed by one of the linebackers and he come running over and he only got one signature. That kid was so happy.
Yeah. You can't buy those memories.
No, I wouldn't miss those for the world. Or we like to go to racing. We're going to the Freedom 250 this weekend. But the first time I ever took him to a NASCAR race, and it's loud anyway. But, you know, they take a lap, so they know where they're going. And so it's loud, but it's not that fast. And then when they come around, and I nudged him and my nephew and said, hey, they're about to let it rip. And they, boom, and we sit right next to the track, so you feel all the wind and everything. And the look on their faces when them cars, 30 of them, come flying at over 100 miles an hour past them.
Yeah.
5 feet from them.
Yeah. That's incredible. That kind of memory.
Yeah, all these people miss out on stuff like that because what? It's inconvenient.
Yeah.
Because you got to take them to school each day, or you got to give me a break, man. This culture of selfishness just infuriates me.
You know, Charlie Kirk used to say this. And I'm not going to say it exactly the way he said it because he kind of I just don't think it's proper to say it exactly the way he said it. But he said, take responsibility for your sex life.
Yeah.
You don't have to have sex. No. It's not like going to college and you have to take biology if you're a medical major. You take responsibility. If you play certain games, you win certain prizes.
Yeah.
And if you're not going to take responsibility for that, don't take it out on the unborn child. It's not that that unborn child's fault. It's your fault for not taking responsibility for your sex life.
Yeah. And here's the thing people always bring up in these extreme cases, where they want to have arguments about abortion and freedom and how, you're going to make someone carry a baby. So first off, I'm not making anybody do anything.
Right.
Second off,
2 other people did that, not you.
But second off, even in the cases that a crime is committed, cool, let's talk about it. I'll gladly talk about it. But you're also talking about 1%.
Yeah.
Less than 1%, actually. So if we're going to talk about that, then great. Let's talk about all the other ones then, too. Let's talk about the other 98%.
Yeah.
But they won't do that.
No.
And now you have a doctor in Virginia shipping this stuff.
Yeah. I hope that they find out who it is. I hope that she knew that she was 31 weeks. And even if this abortion, heaven forbid, but even if this abortion bill passes, it does not negate her her obligation to obey the law, because this is the law now, is you can't have an abortion after 26 weeks. So I hope the AG down there is able to find out who she was.
Yeah, I hope so. That's the other thing that really drives me crazy about our society right now. Where's the accountability?
Yeah. Just do what you want. No, and just think of the next generation, how unaccountable they're going to feel. How that they're not going to be held to any level of accountability.
They already are. Look at the job market.
Exactly. Yeah.
Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt.
No. You're right.
Look at the job market. How long do people keep jobs anymore?
Not long at all.
Talk to people who own businesses.
Mm-hmm.
Where you're hiring people, out of college or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
It's awful.
Yeah.
They want all these accommodations in trauma and, oh my gosh, if I hear trauma one more time. I'm not judging anybody that's been through trauma. I've been through trauma.
Yeah, but real trauma.
But come on.
Listen, your feelings being hurt is not trauma.
No, the worst thing the church ever did was go to a monotheistic therapeutic deity.
Yeah.
That's the worst thing the church has ever done.
Yeah.
And that's what we've done.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know why men are going, we talked about this a couple of weeks ago, men going to Orthodox churches more than any other churches? Because they preach the strength of the Lord.
Yeah.
They're up there telling you Jesus is Lord. Jesus is Lord of everything.
And we also told you in that same story that that's why more young men today are not getting married, because the young women in this country are going the exact opposite.
Yeah, I tried to find a good graph on that, and I couldn't find one that really laid it out so people could see it. But yeah, look up those stats. It's the rate of women it's
insane.
It just basic things like these are not conversations that we should have.
Right.
It's just awful and heartbreaking. And honestly, my heart breaks for that young lady. I know what she did was wrong.
Yeah.
But I mean, she's going to have to pay the consequences for it, apparently. We'll have to wait and see.
Yeah.
But who's more at fault? That her or the doctor? That's a whole state away.
Yeah.
Or these Planned Parenthoods where you call, that's the other thing too that people need to understand. People are celebrating as Planned Parenthoods are closing down. They're closing down because it's cheaper to do what they're doing now, which is mail these things.
Yeah.
And all the liability is now on the person who takes the pill. You think they're coming to take you to the ER?
No.
That's on you.
That's right.
So that means that ER bill's on you.
That's right. That's right.
They're not helping you afterwards. That's on you.
Yeah, that was the amazing part about Delegate Sia Price's contraception bill that I argued in committee. Is it's now law. It passed. The governor signed it. It's now law in the Commonwealth of Virginia that it's going to allow a 13-year-old boy or a 13-year-old girl to go into a Walgreens, wave their mom and dad's insurance card over their head, get any of the contraception they want with no copay, no responsibility, and will force companies, in violation of the Religious Freedom Restoration Act of 1993, it will force companies to pay for contraception coverage for minors. What in the world? We are trying, our leaders, folks, are trying to raise a generation of sexual deviants. And then when they get the unwanted effect of the deviant actions, that being a child in their view, they want to give them all the freedom in the world to discard it. What a wicked, wicked, ungodly society that we live in, and how patient our God must be. I mean, it's not that your sin or my sin is any better, but how patient God must be. We're going to give young people every opportunity for sex with no responsibility. And then if the unfortunate event they get pregnant because of their actions, we want to give them the opportunity to get out of trouble. But the problem is, the scars that are left on the heart and mind of that young girl, these silly legislators have absolutely no clue or any care about the mental or physical scar that's going to leave on that young girl's body.
No, and that's the part, I almost knocked over my mic. That's the part that really, so yeah, if you look up this one, it's HB 6.
Yeah, that's what it was.
Why are we not teaching them correctly? We put so much, and this is what people need to understand when Democrats take control, and maybe this is why our show is gaining in popularity, because this is what's happening in Virginia. They're not actually trying to fix anything.
No.
Whether they don't have the stomach for it, or they just legitimately don't care, or this is what they actually believe. Maybe it's a
duplicity,
a mixture of all three of those scenarios. Yeah. I don't know. But instead of giving kids a place to go to learn healthy relationships. Instead, what we've done is allowed pornography all over the place. I don't even mean just the internet. All over the place.
Yeah.
You can't even watch anything on TV.
There is a show. My wife,
No, go for it.
My wife told me about a show that she came across by accident. And she was home by herself. I was, of course, on the road, as I usually am. And she came across this show by accident. It's called Naked Dating. That's what it's called. It's on Paramount Plus. It's a VH1, of course. It's a VH1 produced show, and it's called Naked Dating.
And they used to do music.
Huh?
Sorry. They used to play music videos.
Yeah, used to. Back when you and I were, kids, they played music videos. And what this show is, it's a group of women and a group of men put on an island, stripped naked.
Why is it always an island?
I don't know.
Anyway, sorry.
Stripped naked, and they date each other on this island. And I guess they pick which one they want to go back home and date. But the issue about this, of course, there's that old show on Discovery Channel, Naked and Afraid. But the thing,
they survived.
When my wife told me about this, she says, Michael, they blurred out nothing on this show.
Oh, because it's on Paramount Plus.
They blurred out nothing.
Ugh.
I mean, you could frontal see every part of the woman's body and the man's body on this show. I'd have no words. And that's why that the national average, I was in a church this past Lord's Day and gave this statistic. The national average is that by the time a young boy is 8 years old,
yep,
he's had access to pornography. And by the time a young girl is between the ages of 10 and 12, folks, she's had her first sexual experience.
Yep.
And we think we're going to fix the problem by all these stupid bills on contraception and reproductive freedom. No, we're exacerbating the problem by giving these young people an out and a reason to hide their sin. The Bible makes it very clear in Proverbs 28 that he that hideth his sins shall not prosper, but the one who forsakes will gain mercy. But what our leaders are doing are giving people an opportunity to hide their sin, but giving them access at 8 years old. And so then what those boys are doing, I've counseled girls in the past who have had boyfriends who have admitted to their young girlfriends that they have viewed pornography. And the girls have asked me, what should I do? And I've always given them the same advice: break up with him.
Yeah.
Not only because he violated, because I believe that when a boy and a girl, especially when they reach a certain age, I believe that when a boy and a girl, when a Christian boy and a Christian girl are dating, I think that there needs to be a level of faithfulness in that relationship, obviously. And so I will tell these young girls, break up with him, not only because of the unfaithfulness that they have portrayed, but their access to that is going to bleed over into your relationship with them, and then they're going to try to force you to fulfill it as a fantasy in their own mind that they got from viewing pornography.
Correct.
But this is what the left wants in the Commonwealth of Virginia. They want pornography proliferated everywhere. They want access to contraception proliferated everywhere for any age group. They want sex with any age group, and then they want abortion for any age group. It is absolutely deplorable. And it just goes back to what Calvin said, that men are at the very heart radically corrupt.
Yeah. Well, I think pornography is one of the real dangers from the enemy, because it takes a man out of what he's supposed to be.
Yes.
And it takes women have problems with pornography as well, to be fair.
Yeah.
But for men, it takes them away from the purpose in the Lord. They're not going to be the spiritual leaders in their house because they're going to feel shameful. They're not going to step into ministry or whatever it is that the Lord is calling them to, they're not going to step into it because they've been taken out of it. And it's just, and it's normal now. You're some kind of right-wing crazy person if you don't think that this is okay. Right. But also, you look at the stats on human trafficking. It's mostly in that industry.
Yeah.
And the dangerous thing about pornography is it may begin with something quote unquote innocent. None of it's innocent, but you get my drift. Yeah, what they would label as innocent, and it devolves into really dark areas because it's a drug, basically, the way that it works on your brain, the endorphins and all that stuff.
Yeah.
And so you have to keep going further.
Yeah.
And now you have, it's really sad when you look around and see what we're allowing, but they don't propose any fixes.
You know, if I could make a plea to those that are watching us, especially dads, please monitor how much time your girls, especially your kids, but especially your young girls, please monitor how much time they spend on social media, because Facebook can be a good vehicle. Will and I, at our issue in our ministries, we use Facebook for good, I believe, but it can be a cesspool of deviance, and it can be a way of trafficking young girls. So please, fathers, monitor how much time your young girls are spending on Facebook, and your sons, but especially your young girls are spending on Facebook. It's your responsibility to make sure that your girls are safe, and you need to monitor the time that they spend on social media, because if you're not careful, the next thing you know, your young girl's gotten into a chat room with a person posing as a 15-year-old girl, asking to meet your 15-year-old daughter, and who she's really meeting is a 40-year-old pervert.
Oh, yeah.
Because dads don't monitor their young girls' social media activity.
Yeah, pay attention to what they do on the internet if you allow them on the internet. I was talking to a good friend of mine as a gamer, and my son and I were over at his house yesterday because he built this awesome computer setup. It was so cool, and he hand built it all. And then but we were talking about that after he showed us everything, and because he's a gamer, he's an adult, and so he was asking what games my son was allowed to play, and I was like, "Well, we're pretty strict, and I told him which games my son's allowed to play, and he was like, "That's really good. Like, you have to watch because he's on them all the time. Even in the games, you have to watch, what's going on, and you just have to." This is what I tell parents to do. It depends on how old your kid is, so you need to censor it a little bit depending on the age. But like for my wife and I and our son, I tell him. Now I censor it for an 11-year-old. I don't tell him all the things that I know.
Right.
But I tell him, look, there's people that are on the internet that want to do bad things to you. There's people in those games that specifically want to talk to you because you're 11.
Yeah.
That's why no one knows when he's in those games that he's 11.
Yeah.
But you have to be honest and have those conversations with your kids. You don't assume, man, we'll close in a second, but I listened to this podcast one time, and it was about a mother and a daughter, and they had created a 501c3 to help young women, teenagers, recover from when they were abused online. And they did this because her daughter had been abused online. And by the way, it's super hard to prosecute it if it's across state lines and all these other things. So don't think the police are just going to go knocking down doors.
Right.
Because they never even ended up. It took years to prosecute this young lady's abuser. And so anyway, the young lady's story was heartbreaking enough. But then when I listened to the mom, I'll never forget this. This is what the mom said. She said, I had no idea that next door to my room, I let an abuser in the house. and my daughter was being abused.
Yeah.
That's not a direct quote, but it was something like that. And I'll never forget. This shit, it sent just chills down my spine, or whatever that saying is, because, and that's essentially what we're doing.
Mm-hmm.
Mike Young, do you know him? Noble Warriors.
Yeah.
Oh, man, he's awesome. He usually preaches at my church once a year, and a couple of years ago, he was there preaching, and he was talking about the dangers of the phone. And, you know, I can't remember exactly what he said, but he said something about, you know, do you let people in your house that you don't know or that you wouldn't trust, and things like this. And of course, all of us, you know, it was a sermon type of situation. So of course, all of us were like shaking our heads like, no, we don't do that. And then he raised his phone up in the air and was like, yes, you do.
Yes, you do.
I was like, oh.
Yes, you do.
He got us.
Yep. Set you up for that one.
Yeah, he's right, though.
He is.
I'll give you one more good thing I learned from Mike. If you're a parent, this is good, and this is not my teachings. This is from Noble Warriors. When you read your Bibles with your kids, read physical Bibles, because then they know that you're reading the Bible.
Yeah.
So if your kid comes downstairs, and like I use my tablet a lot because I have logos. So like when I preach, I have logos and stuff. But if my son comes down the stairs and I'm typing away on my tablet, he has no idea what I'm doing.
Right.
But if you got your physical Bible out there, he's reading the Bible.
Absolutely.
So stuff like that.
Yeah.
Be involved.
You know, just to give you this number before we close, 2025, there were about 113,500 young people in 1 year sex trafficked. 113,500. That's according to the NCMEC data, which is the Missing Kids organization.
And you know what's so frustrating is that, and this isn't anything necessarily against Virginia, but I don't know any other states, but Virginians, the delegates could stop this.
They could do something about it, yeah.
Our government, your state governments, whether you're in Virginia or not, could do something about this.
I have sat in so many committee meetings, listen to these guys talk about, well, what should we do about pornography? Make them illegal.
Yeah.
Make them illegal in the Commonwealth of Virginia. Well, how would you do that? Well, if you're on your cell phone and your cell phone is bouncing off of a tower in the Commonwealth of Virginia, that site is automatically blocked. That's pretty easy to do.
Yes,
but I watched them talk about what they should do and do nothing.
Yeah.
And all the while, over 113,000 of our young kids were sexually exploited. And again, that's according to the National Committee of the Missing and Exploited Children data. While our lawmakers talk about what we should do, well, it's pretty simple to me what we should do.
Our lawmakers talk about banning gas-powered leaf blowers.
Yeah, that's what. Yeah, and taking energy drinks out of public high schools. That's what our guys spend our time. That's what our legislators spend their time talking about.
I can't wait. No.
Give me a big break.
Yeah. All right.
Well, I got one thing to say about us, Will.
This is a. You could have had him pull it up on YouTube. Oh wait, no, you won't want to play too much. Yeah, don't play too much. YouTube will.
Oh yeah, we'll say yeah.
They actually will. They will actually block that episode.
So if there's a part of the YouTube video that's silenced, that's because you and I are bad.
Yeah. Yeah, that part actually like it got. They are pretty serious about copyright. All right. Check the website, thekingdompolitics.org. We'll have a lot of updates coming soon. We're just, like I said at the beginning, we're just waiting for some things to get confirmed. But
have we published our speaking engagements? We ought to put a calendar on the website. Have we?
There is.
There is. Okay.
Yeah,
okay.
The events are on there.
Very good.
The ones that have been confirmed are on there. I have to add the one in Northern Neck because I just the other day I got the location and everything.
Okay. Okay.
So I'll put that up there as well.
Yeah.
And then I'm waiting for. No, I have 2 to put up. September 3rd, I need to put on there as well on the website.
Okay. And October 2nd.
Yeah, I don't have the.
Okay.
We'll
I'll
figure
get that out.
we'll figure that out
I
afterwards.
didn't realize the calendar was on the website. Very
Oh,
good,
yeah,
very
yeah,
good,
yeah.
very good.
Yeah, we got a calendar on there. So, I'll
Awesome.
update it. So all the events will be on there. All the socials are on there. And we really appreciate everybody listening.
Yeah.
And like and subscribe, share, all that good stuff. A couple of people have asked how they can help. We'll have more information about that later because we have to do some stuff behind the scenes for that kind of thing. But honestly, right now, the best way to help is just help us out with likes and shares and all that kind of good stuff.
Yeah.
But other than that,
yeah, email us.
Yeah.
Dr. Michael at thekingdompolitics.org, and we'll be at thekingdompolitics.org.
And with that, we'll close as we normally do with a little Isaiah/Spurgeon quote. Thank you.
And I heard the voice of the Lord saying, "Whom shall I send? And who will go for us?" And I said, "Here am I. Send me."
Rise up, Christ one, only bow to his throne, Satan. Try and temper, he ain't loud in my home, all fact. Keep it real, spirit send me not alone.